Hi, my name is Melanie Kiss, and I am a beach body coach since May 2014. And I want to tell you a little bit about my story and how I became a coach and how I started my first fitness challenge. And I specifically wanted to talk about how I used to have chronic inflammation in hopes to inspire anyone and everyone out there who is suffering from chronic inflammation. Um, it started when I was 25 and I started feeling a lot of inflammation in my hands. Started with the right, and I always come up with the excuse that I was in school and I was writing a lot of notes, and that's why my hands were sore and swelling and stiff. Uh, to to then my other hand swelling and sore and stiff. But this is my left hand, and I wasn't using it, so I just kind of pushed it aside and saying, "Oh, I'm young. There's just no way." And continuing on with life, I had a job where I'm standing constantly. I'm a flight attendant. So I started getting swelling in my right knee. And again, I thought it must have been, because I was up on my feet all day. I used to mountain bike. So maybe it was the fact that I maybe injured myself mountain biking. And so I brushed it off because the inflammation would come on and kind of go away. And it was never, it wasn't chronic at that point, I would say. So time went by, it would come, but enough that I'm noticing that it's always there. And time went by, and the swelling started move to the other side, move to the left knee. And I thought, okay, the reason why it's moving to the left knee now is because I'm compensating. I'm putting more weight on that side now. So it can't be arthritis. It can't be anything of that sort because, it's probably just an injury. Again, I'm trying to find other reasons why I'm getting this. So, of course, it's very difficult to find a doctor and one that can follow you and try to help you out. So I decided to try to go on my own and research a bit about it, and taking glucosamine and any supplements out there that would help me. And then I started seeing maybe an osteopath, acupuncturist, um, you name it. I think I've seen everyone. But again, it wasn't, um, the inflammation wasn't, again, chronic to the point where I was noticing, oh my God, it's coming on, every so many days. So putting it off, I had this huge trip going to Thailand, and I was afraid to go because I knew there'd be a lot of walking, and I was leaving for 3 weeks. So I decided to go see a sports therapist, and they, fought in me with um, to zap me and put warm compressions and then cool compressions and asked me to do these exercises to reinforce the muscles in my thighs. And so I thought, okay, I'll try anything. And I did that, and the inflammation went away, and it was actually away for my entire trip. So here I'm thinking, woohoo, it's gone. But again, I always felt super tired when the inflammation would come on. If I was in the kitchen and I was cooking, I love to cook, so I was in the kitchen for, standing for hours on end, I would feel just very heavy legs, very sore, heavy legs. Um, and when it was inflamed and my knees look like, you know, grapefruits, and the skin looks so stretched out. I felt like I could pop it. Like, it was just ridiculous. Um, and I have to, I'll show you a picture, but I'll just go on a bit about my story. So I went to this trip, everything was fine. I came back and I found out I was shortly afterwards, my husband and I was pregnant. So the inflammation still hadn't come on, and I had my son and I breastfed, and pregnant for my second, and then had him and breastfed, and it's now been 4 years with no inflammation. And I'm thinking, great, I feel fantastic. It's gone. That's all it took, was going to physiotherapy. Well, let me tell you something, and I'm sure whoever is going through this knows it came back, and it came back full force. It was like making up for lost time or something. It was ridiculous. So now the inflammation is coming on, but I could feel it coming down from my hips, especially on my right side, all the way down to my knee, into my ankles. And at its worst, I could start feeling it at the top of my back. So again, seeing osteopaths and acupuncturists and everyone under the sea to try to help me out, and they were all very great, and to help me out to alleviate some of the pain, but it still was there. It would not go away, and would come on now at this point every 10 days like clockwork, and it would last 3 days, and it was so painful. It was crazy, and no one could understand because you couldn't see it. So I look young, and you know, I've never been super out of shape, but you know, I had gained weight from the pregnancies and I wasn't in top shape after that, but I never had weight issues. So it was very hard for people to understand, like, you're fine. And I never complained about it. I would go to work, people wouldn't know. I would dread having to pick up something at the bottom drawer of the food trolley because I thought, I can't even bend down to get anything. And then when I would try to get back up, I would use the seats on the side of you know, passenger seats to push me up because I didn't have the force the in my legs to push me up. And so it was something that I just kept to myself when I was at work. And at home, I got to the point where I couldn't do anything. Like the kids knew. I would say, you know, Mama, her legs are hurting today, and they would know. It got to the point where they just knew that I couldn't necessarily just get up and go do something for them, and they had learned really quickly to go get their own glass of water or a glass of milk, and I had put, you know, everything at their level for them to be able to do it. And I wouldn't sleep for those 3 days either because in the lying position, it was the worst position ever. It was worse than standing. So I would not sleep at all. And when you have chronic pain, it is draining. It drains you completely of your energy. So, you know, your lack of sleep, it's coming on every 10 days, and you're sore everywhere because now it's affecting so much more than just your knees. You feel like you're completely out of whack. You're just not, you feel crooked. You feel completely crooked. And so I had, excuse me, I had, and now, you know, for the first time, it was January 2014 that I had to start actually booking off work for the first time due to that. And I'll never forget, I woke up and my inflammation was there, and it was the start of it. And when it started, at this point, the pain would come on fairly quickly. It wouldn't take like a day to, you know, get to that pain. It would come on faster, and I could not walk down the stairs to my living room. So I couldn't walk down the stairs to my living room, and I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to go to work? And my husband's just like, this is ridiculous. Like you can't go to work like this. You can't sleep. You cannot bend. You cannot stand. You cannot lie down. Like you're just in major pain. And so I took off work. And if any of you go through this, I mean, I would pick up my kids from daycare, and I'm lucky my mom has a daycare, and so I would wait till all the parents would pick up all their kids, and then I would collapse to the floor and say, pull on my legs, just pull on them. I can't take it anymore. I don't know what to do. I don't know what position to take. So just pull on them. It's kind of funny because I would try to hold on to something, try to stretch out. And then I had other people who would give me, I think it's called a TENS machine, or I can't even remember now, but giving you like electric shocks. So in your back area, and I would leave it on for like hours the whole time I was sleeping, just leave it on and get these electric shocks to get to your nerves. And I'm thinking, I'm 38 years old, and this 60-year-old man is lending me his machine because he's in pain, but I'm 38. Like, this is crazy, right? Like, I shouldn't have to use this machine to feel better. So I'm using machines. I'm seeing everyone to try to get better. I'm asking people to pull on my legs. And of course, not that I drink a lot, but let me tell you, I really enjoyed a drink at that point because it would just numb some of the pain. So no, I don't want to, start anything. I'm not actually that much of a big drinker. So, but come weekends, or if I'm with people, then forget about it. Like I won't go into details about how much, but you could just imagine you're just, getting drunk just to get rid of the pain. And it's, all it's doing is masking it. And then the next day you're feeling crappy. And so you're even, you're feeling crappy because you drank too much, and you're feeling crappy because you're in chronic pain. So it was just ridiculous. Which, knowing now too, like, sugar is like a horrible culprit for inflammation. It's just like, it feeds off it. Anyways, so I'm now seeing a rheumatologist, and I went and did MRIs and blood tests, and no one could tell me what it is. And this is when it starts getting really frustrating, because I am telling everyone, then explain to me why this is coming on every 10 days. Like every 10 days, like clockwork. Okay, no, it's not my period. It's not because of that. No, I don't know what it is that I ate, because I'm reading all the books under the sun about what I shouldn't be eating that could cause inflammation, but it's still, nothing super, it's specific to certain foods, but I wasn't, say, following it to a T. Like, like tomatoes and red meats could cause some inflammation. So let's say that I didn't cut everything out. I did change my diet, but I didn't cut everything out. So this was December of 2013 that I saw my rheumatologist. And then I saw him 6 months later. But between that time, I was now telling him how I needed something. I needed medication. And I didn't want to take medication, but so when that pain is on, I'm knocking on your door and I want medication because I can't take this. So he gave me a prescription to get rid of the inflammation when it came on. And I went to work, and I had a flight from Montreal to Vancouver, and I had a very short layover while I was there, 11 hours. And the entire 11 hours that I was there, I was awake because the medication did squat. And all I kept thinking is that by the time I get back home tomorrow, I will have been up for 36 hours. I can't live like this. I could not live like this. So I would, hop in the bath to try to help me out, and carried tennis balls, and I slept on tennis balls to try to get rid of some of the pain. And I'm going to do a screen share here of a picture that I took that night of my knees. And it might not seem like such a, I guess, maybe you don't see a huge difference. I do. I was just like, I took the pictures because I want to show the doctor, like, when you don't see a kneecap, this is not normal. This here is not normal. This here is not normal. Okay? Not normal. So I couldn't. Anyways, sorry, I'm just going to stop my screen share here. Here we go. So I just couldn't believe it. So I called him and left a message in the middle of the night, said, I'm back tomorrow and I have to see you because this medication is not helping at all. It's doing diddly squat. So I went back home, saw him, and he ended up giving me a prescription, and it was morphine. I'm like, wow, I'm now on morphine. So again, I so didn't want to take it, and the days that I could try to handle it, I would not take it. The days that I couldn't handle it anymore is when I took the medication. And the worst part is that the medication just kind of numbs you, and it actually wouldn't really get rid of the inflammation. It was still there. I could see it. I could still feel it. It just wasn't as bad. So I'm thinking, this is absolutely nuts. So sorry, a little long, my story, but I'm talking from the heart about this, and I think it needs to be shared because there's way too many people out there right now that I know that have this. And then come March of 2014, I was again in an episode where I was inflamed, and I'm away with my sister-in-law, and she's like sound asleep next to me, and I'm just on Facebook at this point because what else am I going to do? And scrolling through the newsfeed, and I see my coach who is looking for people to do a fitness challenge, and I contacted her and I said, you know what, I have nothing to lose. Send me the information, I want to see it. And I decided to try the 21-day fix program. And I bought it on the spot from my phone. I was like, bring it on. At this point, you told me to eat 2 pounds of carrots and it would get rid of it. I would have eaten 2 pounds of carrots to get rid of it, but I didn't have to. So I got the program and I started, and I still had inflammation, and I still did my workouts. I did not care. I would be my knees like this, and I'd be stiff, and I was just like, I don't care. I'm going to push through this workout. And I followed the modifier, I'm telling you, because I couldn't even do a jumping jack when I first did it. Every time I would jump, I was like, I felt like 500 pounds. It was ridiculous. So I followed the modifier, and but I did it every single day for 8 months. Inflamed or not, I did my workouts because there's no way this was taking over my life. No way. Okay. And I'm a huge fan, and everybody can say whatever they want about it. I educated myself on it. Shakeology. I educated myself on it. I took this every single day. And when I started taking it, let me tell you, I was told that I had to take it. I took it and didn't read much more about it. But a year into my fitness challenge, I became a coach because I was starting to feel good. Like I had, bloating went away, and I started feeling lighter, and I was starting to feel more energy. So right away, I was like, I feel so good. I need to share this with the world. I need for everybody else to feel as good as I do, because I swear to God, I think people would be just much happier in life if they felt good inside. So I made it my mission to help as many people as possible to feel better about themselves physically, mentally, and financially. So I started to take the Shakeology every single day, and I brought it over to my rheumatologist for my appointment, which was a year after he had given me the medication. And he asked me to send him the information on the Shakeology, and he was like, no wonder, like, have you read the ingredients list? Like, it's only good things in there. Your body probably needed and was or lacked and absorbed the stuff that's in there and is helping you with your inflammation on top of working out and eating well. Not a diet. If you know 21-day fix, it's not a diet. But I cut out enormous amounts of carbs because that's something that I noticed that I was eating too much of. So I had cut that out. And I was never a huge sweets fan, but of course I had cut that out too. And I was controlling my portion sizes, and I ate a lot more veggies and more protein and still fruit, still some carbs, but just cut it out big time. And taking my shake every day. And so obviously as a coach, people are always like, what's that shake? What's in it? Is it a protein shake? Sorry, I have to do the voice. And I'm just like, I guess a little frustrated because it's helped me. And I'm thinking, why would you put everything on your side to make yourself feel better? You know, a lot of people are always like, oh, they're trying to sell me something. And I'm like, anyways, think what you want. I know it works. It's worked for so many other people that I know. When you combine all three, you get results. So I started a group, a Shakeology group, and it wasn't, you know, to necessarily just talk about Shakeology that I'm taking on a daily basis, but it was just a group, and I had taken every single ingredient off that list, and I researched its benefits, and I had posted it, and, you know, posting some recipes as well. So I learned a lot about it, and I said, no wonder. I mean, come on. If you know about the human body and how it works, then there's no trying to figure it out. It's science. So it took me 6 months. 6 months, and I had no more information. 6 months from the day I started. And it took me 2 months after that to stop having that feeling of, it's coming. Oh my God, my inflammation's coming. Because it was such clockwork. It was like abuse. I was like, oh my God, it's coming. And I would just wait for it. And it took me 2 months to realize it's not coming. It's not coming back. So you could just relax and continue doing what you're doing. And so I did. And so, like I said, I saw my rheumatologist. He was totally impressed. And he was like, oh, if everyone would include exercise and diet, healthy eating habits into their life, they would feel so much better than having to take medication. But then I understand the other side of you're in so much pain that you need that medication. But it's more like put all the chances on your side and try to go the way of healthy eating and exercise. And of course, I'm going to, you know, promote the Shakeology because it's helped me. So I'm like sold on it. And when you do all those three, as time will go by, you'll start feeling better, and then you'll be able to stop taking that medication, hopefully. Because, you know, I'm not a doctor, but I've read so much about arthritis, and it's such a horrible disease, and every body is made differently. Every body is made differently, and every arthritis, you know, there's so many I can just say there's so many different types of inflammation and chronic inflammation and arthritis that It's not necessarily everyone will get rid of it, but at least try to do something to alleviate the pain as much as you can. And so that being said, you know, a lot of people think, oh, you know, what is it that you eat? And it's like I said, it's simple. I think people make it so complicated. Get rid of all of that stuff that's pre-made, and that's just one right there. Soft drinks. It drives me crazy that people drink pop. It drives me crazy. It it is fruits, vegetables, proteins, herbs, everything else. Like seriously, I buy something and I read the ingredients list and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of stuff in there. No, thank you. And I just save myself money too. So if you do not want to feel the pain anymore, I'm telling you, there are ways of getting there. There are ways of getting there. And I wanted to share my story with you because I have gone through YouTube videos and trying to find other diseases and people and using products to try to, you know, Beachbody products to try to get there. And so many have. And I'm thinking, okay, they posted their video because they're trying to help the next person out. And I said, okay, I've got to get out of my comfort zone and I got to share my story. And I know it's long, but I think it's absolutely worth listening to because I think that so many people out there could feel better, could absolutely feel better. And like I said, you have to combine everything that I did. To me, people tell me, yeah, eat right. No, I'm sorry. Unless you're an athlete, nobody knows how to eat right anymore. I listen to what they eat and I'm like, yeah, no, don't wonder why you're not feeling better yet. Like, there's something missing, you know, or taking all these supplements. You could get rid of them and save money. I go to the gym. Do you go every day? Do you work out every day? Do you work every part of your body every day like it's supposed to? Or at least by the end of the week, you've hit every part of your body. So I'm not saying this is the only solution. I'm just telling you this is what I've done and this is what's helped me. And I've seen so many other people do it and so many other people feel better that I want to make sure that I made a video to show you. And I'm just going to share you my screen again because I think it's important to show you that ever since I've decided to do this, I've just felt so much better. And these are the things that have happened to me in the last year ever since I decided to take control of this. So this was me, January of 2014, when I started taking off work because I was just inflamed. And this is a year later with the weight loss. And I'm sure the weight loss has helped to not have that extra weight on my joints. So I'm pretty proud of that. And I will promote it. I'm sorry. I'm a huge fan of Shakeology. No one can turn around and tell me that it's a bad product. I know it too well. This I'm pretty proud of too because 21 Day Fix is the program that I did. 21 Day Fix is where I lost my weight and it's like my baby program. And I have had the opportunity of meeting Autumn 3 times now. So it's pretty amazing when you start something and you would have never thought that, hey, one day that girl on TV, I'm going to meet her. So nope, but I did. I'm pretty happy about that. Ooh, this picture here. This is the picture of me of that same night I went out, and that was the same night that I was in pain, and that's the same night that I decided to buy 21 Day Fix. It's that picture. I saw that picture and I was like, huh, I look, I have to tell you, to me, I was like, I'm fat. I look like I'm going to explode. More that inflammation feeling, you know what I mean? Like that just, I, I don't think I don't look bad. I'm not saying that, but I think it's because I felt horrible. So when I look at that picture, I know that feeling inside. So it's not that it was ugly. I just felt, when I was inflamed, I felt like 3 times my size. So that was the picture that said, yeah, no, I got to do something about this. So that was March, and I started in April, and that's July with the weight loss. So pretty excited about that. And what's this? Oh, I was almost gonna forget to tell you about this. So if anyone has bad knees, inflammation, there's no way any of you are sitting there going, yeah, I could go for a jog or a run. No way. I hated running. Absolutely hated running. There's just no way that I was going to run. And 8 months after my first, yes, 8 months after that I had started, one of my challengers said, hey, why don't you do a half marathon now that you started running? Because I started running when I was in Los Angeles, and Angie got me started, and I challenged myself to do it once a week, and I did it twice a week because I couldn't believe my cardio was good. And when I ran, then my knees weren't hurting. I was like, wow. Before that, I'd be like, I'd run like down the street, and I was like, oh my god, and I'm hurting everywhere, and why does anyone run? This is crazy. So no, I was like, I'm going to run. And so I ran and I ran and I ran, and my once a week turned into 3 times a week. And then time went by, and I signed up for the half marathon, and I'm proud to say that I did my first half marathon not even a month ago. So one of my accomplishments was that. And I would have never thought in a million years, when I was in pain, that one, I would squat down and bring myself back up, but two, go run a half marathon. Now I have full energy, and I never have to tell my kids that I can't help them, and I could play with them, and I could get down on the ground and get back up without feeling that it's taking all the energy out of me to do it. So I'm hoping that this video, which is a little long, is going to inspire some of you to get fit. Maybe pass it on to anybody else that has chronic inflammation. That was my main reason to this video is, and I really wanted to get into the feeling of how I felt during this video, because every time I talk to someone who has the same thing that I had, we so relate to one another. We know exactly what that feeling is. And so I want you to know to not give up, and to try whatever it is that you need to do to try to feel better. And if you need to just talk, just send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you, because it's not any, even my husband couldn't understand. Like, nobody understood. So to go talk to somebody who gets it is a very nice outlet. So please, I will be more than happy to talk to you if you need a shoulder to cry on. And so thank you for following me, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you about it. Bye now.